So you've watched the video here. Hopefully you haven't read the discussion directions before you did it. You've watched the video. You've come up either linked through the content area or up in the discussion area to the discussion that's associated with this one. And let's just wait for it to load. So these are the previous discussions you would have taken part in. Remember, they remain open, so you can continue to go back. They'll be open until the last day of school before the break. So here's the link for the video that you're watching, and here are the questions that you need to answer. So if it was me, I would copy those, and then I'm going to click here. I wonder if you want this part. No, I don't think you need that. Well, you got to read it, obviously, but sorry. Until it's getting near the end of the day. I'm making the nicest videos. Okay, so you've copied that. And now, if my internet would speed up. But I guess it doesn't want to. Well, while that's loading, I'll start. So you've clicked into the hyperlink here. You know that you need to review what's required on your rubric so that you get full marks for your participation in the discussion. Remembering I keep the discussions open for longer than I do the assignments because sometimes you have to wait on other people, and I know that we have people that are doing multiple courses right now. Some people are in school, some people are working at night, all of those sorts of things. So that's why I give you longer for the discussions to pace them out. So let's look at our rubric. What am I expecting? So I made my own original thread. Either you did that or you didn't. I answered the question. And I don't really want to say the question out loud. I'm not going to say it out loud in case people haven't watched the video. And then you're going to do the second question. You are also going to respond to another student's post. You can choose to respond to multiple students' posts. That's okay. You've accepted responsibility for managing your behavior in discussion. So you've thought about what was on from activity 1 in terms of how you should behave in an online discussion, how you should write in an online discussion. And if you're forgetting, I would suggest going back and reviewing the other content area. There's only 2 pieces of content open right now. It would be hard to miss those directions. And secondly, I listen to, acknowledge, and respected differing ideas, opinions, and values. So make sure to reread your post because you want to make sure that you're respectful. And the other thing to remember is to use quite formal language when you're writing in an online discussion because sometimes your tone, it's hard to read. And we talked about that, the content area talked about that in the previous video. So just those are simple reminders to think about. And then let's have a look. So you are going to come in. We could do Miss Allison's post. And I had copy and pasted those pieces so that I don't miss anything. Next step would be I would restate the question in my response. So I would use full sentences. I would check for capitals. I would check for spelling, all of those things. After I have done my response here, you can delete those because your question or your response should read as though I don't know what the question is. So you've restated enough that it becomes clear what you're talking about. So I don't want to use those questions, for example. So let's use this one. Think of a time when you've consumed a piece of media and at first did not notice one of its messages. Why do you think you did not notice it at first? So this might take me a minute to think about, but I can show what the restate would be. So one time I consumed a piece of media where I at first didn't notice one of its messages was. Now, if you can't think of something straight out the gate, maybe you can look around on the internet to find something, media with hidden messages, and you might be able to come up with an example. So then why do you think you did not notice it at first would be your next step in terms of finishing that. Once you had your information, you could delete this part out if you wanted to, because you don't really need it once you've got your post, but at least by copying and pasting, you've made sure to answer all the questions. So you're going to post that, and then you are going to respond on another student's post, and that'll be open until we go on Christmas break. Oops, that's not what I wanted.